Hi, my name is Esperanza Soriano-McCrary. I'm the Parent Engagement Specialist for the Clarksville-Montgomery County School System. And on this episode of Engage TV, I'm joined by Fetting, Special Agent from Homeland Security Investigations. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, I appreciate it.
So tell us what a criminal investigator is for the Department of Homeland Security.
Sure, so criminal investigators across the board, basically our main job is to investigate crimes at the federal level. Regarding child exploitation, one of the things that we investigate is crimes against children on the internet, and so that involves students within schools, everything from elementary-aged kids, unfortunately, all the way up to high school students. Social media tied to students, especially young students, provides predators and other people that are looking to exploit these kids with way too much information. The personal information, things like, where do they go to school, where do they live, what's their address, but even more than that, it's things like metadata, the information that's buried inside of pictures, geolocation features, where checking in via social media, what restaurant do they eat at, where do they go, and and then it goes from that personal information to inappropriate information. So that is the silly or stupid pictures that these kids post, things like fight videos and pranks and drinking and drug use, just really stuff that parents definitely wouldn't want their kids to be doing, that they are sharing out via social media and texts and tweets. And then it goes from that inappropriate information to things like sexting, sending out of nude or partially nude photographs, texts, things like that. The permanency of data is something that all kids need to have an awareness of. So what we found classically, talking to juveniles, talking to juvenile victims, they lack real-world experience. So they're very naive about predators and the kind of the dark side of human nature and what these predators are doing. They don't know about these predatory websites that exist. They don't think long-term consequence. Where is a picture going? Where is a video going? Think about every single picture, every single text, every single video that you send out from your device as a permanent piece of a digital resume about you.
So some parents seem to think that their student, because they're on an app, it's a safer place to be versus just cyberspace, because apps you tend to have to log in and have passwords and those types of things. How true is that?
We see some of the most dangerous activity and some of the most predatory practices occur through those app-based gaming devices, social media, but then it also goes into the very obscure apps that parents don't know about, which will randomly link kids up to strangers either via video chat or through, and all of those are app-based. And so in reality, that's the way now of the future where these predators are accessing our children. One of their main tactics is creating fake profiles, and so they will go on all different social media sites that they know kids are going to. They'll also go on different games, places that they know that kids gravitate towards, and they will create fake profiles to look like a same-aged boy or girl, talking to these children, relating to them, grooming them. Essentially, they are building a trust with them, building a relationship with them. And from that is where they start to then ask inappropriate questions, solicit sexual images, things like that. So tied into that is friends lists. And so the way to get rid of those strangers and those fake profiles is you got to cut those friends lists down. So a good rule of thumb is kids, if they can't describe to you how they know that person in the real world, so if they don't know them from school or church or athletics, or they're not a family member, cut all of those strangers off of those friends lists, because those are potentially predators, prying eyes, people that don't need to be seeing the things that are going on in these kids' lives. And through privacy settings, you can kind of block a lot of those people out, at least on social media, setting everything to private, nothing to public.
Is there a way for parents to actually monitor what their child is doing online?
All of these apps are coming from basically a sanctioned or licensed site. So it's going to be the iTunes Store, or for Android devices, it's normally Google Play. If you are just monitoring what they're doing and they have their own account, is to just look at their history, the things that they've purchased, the things that they've downloaded. But a better course of action, if you're a concerned parent, would be lock those stores down so that it's something that you control. So it's in your name as a parent. You control the credit card access, and that they have to come to you because it's password protected. If they want to download something from the iTunes Store or Google Play, they come to you, they tell you the app that they want, then you as a parent, you make that decision by doing some research and figuring it out. While the internet and the online environment can be dangerous and threatening, it's also very enlightening. And so parents can go on YouTube or just Google search or Bing, whatever search engine, things like, how do I set my privacy settings on Facebook? And Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all the reputable sites actually have tutorials and videos and handouts that show parents step by step how to lock these devices down.
What are 3 things that we can actually share with our parents that can help them sort of have this conversation with their child at home?
So we partner with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. They have an internet site called netsmarts.org, and it's a great non-for-profit website put together by educators. It's constantly being updated with new articles that parents can read. There are presentations and videos that they can show their kids and actually sit down with them and have at least a starter of a conversation. And so one resource is educational websites. That's a great one. We as a department nationally are doing these outreach initiatives. And so we're putting out constantly updated new information, things that parents don't know about. And lastly, I would say, every once in a while at night, maybe while parents are decompressing and they're sitting there with their own tablet, do a Google search on like, what are the new apps or what are the new trends? It does more than you may think, and it only takes 10 minutes sometimes to just educate yourself about a new app that everybody's going crazy about that also is dangerous. So there's a lot of different conversation starters that parents can use to discuss things, and that's at every age level. It could be elementary school, it could be middle, it could be high school. With elementary school kids, they're ahead of the curve in the way that a lot of these elementary school kids don't have access. And so starting by talking to them about things like just being a good citizen online, what they call netiquette, basically that we don't post harmful things about people and that pictures can be out there forever, and that if you see something that bothers you, tell mommy, daddy, don't click on pop-ups, don't share information. That's very relevant for elementary school aged kids. When kids become teens and tweens, talking to them about things like predators, sexting, inappropriate content, it's really important now. So with high school kids, nowadays, if you're going to give them a device and some freedom, you're going to have blunt conversations with them. You're going to have to let them know about sexting and the fact that there are predators out there and websites that exist, and that boyfriends and girlfriends do share pictures with everybody else, and that you can't trust everybody that you send things to. It's difficult conversations, but very appropriate conversations to have with these students at that age.
That's perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yep.
And thank you for joining us.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.